So if you clicked on this video, there might be a good chance that you're thinking about moving to Issaquah, Washington. It's a pretty desirable area. There's a lot of people that have moved there over the years, and it's continued to expand and become a very desirable area for a multitude of different reasons. So in this video, I'm going to give you an idea of what it's like to live in Issaquah, and I'm going to take you on the map and just give you a Google Map tour of things you need to know and be aware of with Issaquah. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I love helping you guys out. Those of you that reach out to me here from YouTube when you're looking to move over to the Seattle metropolitan area and purchase a home over here, I'm an active real estate agent, so I'm happy to help you through with that process. But like I said, on this video, it's all about Issaquah, Washington. We're gonna do another Google Map tour on what it might be like to live here in Issaquah, but just before we jump in here, home prices, of course, are a consideration for everybody. When you're moving to a city, you want to know, well, how much is it going to cost for me to live there? Currently, January of 2023 is when the recent stats that we have. I'm making this the first week of February here in 2023, but median home prices are $1.25 million in Issaquah. So a bit more on the expensive end for sure. It's one of the more expensive cities on this side of Washington, really in Washington in general, one of the most expensive cities to live in, but there's a reason for that, and let's jump into the map and kind of show you around and give you an idea why. All right, so you can see we got the map right here. We've got Seattle over on the west side right here, and then Issaquah is down here. It's about 15 miles or so down to Issaquah, so it's a pretty straight shot from Seattle if you're gonna be working in Seattle and you wanna live in Issaquah, or vice versa. That trip is gonna be just over I-90 right into Seattle. So it's not too bad of a trip in terms of, it's just a straight shot. The traffic's not gonna be great. When you're going on the rush hour times, it's gonna get backed up. You may be talking without traffic, you can get over in about 20-ish minutes or so. With heavy rush hour times, anywhere from 30, 45 minutes is pretty realistic to get over there, depending how deep in Issaquah you're going. It might be even longer than that. It might be closer to an hour if you're going pretty deep into Issaquah. But typically under an hour from Seattle to Issaquah in those heavy rush hour times, if you're working in Seattle and that commute is something that you need to be aware of. Let's zoom in to Issaquah a little bit here and kind of show you around. So as you can see, right on the north side of Issaquah is Lake Sammamish right here. And Sammamish is another city in and of itself, pretty similar to Issaquah, but if you're in Issaquah, you're still really close to Lake Sammamish right here. You've also got Pine Lake Park. I've been swimming here a number of times. It's a really cool smaller lake to go swimming. There's a beach area with a dock and all that kind of stuff, where a lot of high school kids and whatnot, college kids, that's where I hung out, can go swimming. With Lake Sammamish right here, it's a very large lake, as you can see. So if you want to take out the boat and go water skiing, wakeboarding, any of that kind of stuff, go swimming at, you've got the state park down here. You've also got my absolute favorite dog park in the world is right here. This is called Mirrormont Park. Again, this is actually in Redmond, so I'm just kind of showing you around where some places you have access to. So if you've got dogs and a dog park is a consideration for you, Mirrormont Park right here on the north side of Lake Sammamish. You can see the off-leash dog park right here in these trails. The dogs can jump in and go swimming right here. It's off-leash obviously, and it's a big loop, so you can kind of start at the parking lot over here and go all the way around the loop. We took my dogs there actually growing up quite a bit. So it's a really cool spot. Just as a side note there, if you've got dogs, that's one of the best dog parks, kind of close. I mean, it's gonna be 15-20 minutes from Issaquah. It's obviously not in Issaquah, but it's close enough that it's worth going over there. So let's zoom out here a little bit. You can see with Issaquah right in here, you've got town. You're really in town right here. So you've got all your shopping and everything, doctor's offices, restaurants, everything you need really to be self-sufficient in Issaquah is right there. Then as you go to the outskirts where you see the green areas here and here and here, you've got a lot of properties that are going to be very wooded and private. A lot of neighborhoods, maybe it's quarter acre, half acre to acre lots, and it feels like you're a bit more private because those lots are so wooded, but you're still close to your neighbors and you still have a sense of community and a neighborhood feel. Or maybe you want something with a little bit more acreage, 1 to 5 acres or something like that. You can find that as well. So there's multiple options of what you can find here in the Issaquah area. So let's start on the north side of Issaquah here. You can see very north side before you get into Sammamish, they've got a shopping center. There's multiple shopping centers in Issaquah. So you can see the Fred Meyer and the Home Depot here. Costco is here. PCC, which is, if you're not familiar, it's like kind of like Whole Foods, natural grocery store. Lowe's, everything is up here as well. Obviously, you know, places to eat and whatnot, Starbucks, all that kind of stuff. As you zoom out and we go over to the east a little bit, we're going into Issaquah Highlands right here. So this is a newer area. I want to say newer. In the last 10 to 20 years, it was really brought up and kind of started going. You've got neighborhoods through here. So whether you want, like there's townhomes up here. So if you're looking for something like a townhome or a condo, there's a lot of options for that in the Issaquah Highlands. There's also plenty of neighborhoods up in here for single family homes too. A draw to the Issaquah Highlands is there's another shopping center with a lot of restaurants, so it's like pretty walkable. You can, you know, if you live down there or you just drive over there and park, you can walk around, go to all these different restaurants. There's, you know, your grocery store, Dick's Sporting Goods, a couple other spots, movie theater right there. You've got some trails through here by this little lake. As you go further south here in the Highlands, you've got Swedish Hospital, which is a relatively newer hospital. Up here when this whole area kind of developed. So you've got quick and easy access to that if you're in the Issaquah Highlands. Now going back down a little bit, we're going to go right off the freeway. So there's a couple different exits off of Issaquah. If you're going to go right into the main town area, you're going to take this exit right here off I-90, and you're going to go by the best hamburger spot in Washington right here, XXX Root Beer Drive-In. They have a lot of car shows here on the weekends. I grew up as a kid. My dad would always take me to these car shows. They have like these, they've got regular hamburgers as well, but they've got these ginormous hamburgers, and they've got really amazing root beer floats. This was featured on one of those food eating shows. Man vs. Food, I think is what it was, on the Food Network years and years ago. So it's a popular spot. It's a cool place to go and grab a burger and some root beer. As you take Front Street, this is Front Street right here. As you take Front Street down, you're into kind of the town area. So again, more restaurants. Jack's Grill is really good. I've been there. A lot of different restaurants around here. There's a theater around here. I actually saw Legally Blonde at this theater. That was quite, enjoyed that quite a bit actually. Right here at Village Theater. So a lot of different plays and stuff. If that's your kind of thing, you're pretty close to that. Bakeries, you know, candy shop, Bohem's Candy is really popular. So you can see everything here in Issaquah. You've got everything that you need. There's parks all over the place. You can see these green areas. That's a cemetery there, but Hillside Park. You know, you've got Issaquah Middle School and Issaquah High School right down here, right outside of town. So easy to get to. There's a lot of trailheads. So you can see all these green dots, you know, trails right here. All of these, there's a lot of different trails. So if you want like a more easy, mild kind of hike with not super high grade elevation, anything like that, you can access the trailhead right here out of town. And we've actually done this. I've walked this trail a long time ago. So that's one of the benefits about being in Issaquah, is you are so close to everything. Look at all these trails down here. It's amazing. I mean, if you're into hiking, you're gonna love Issaquah. My favorite hike, one of my favorite hikes in the entire metro area is Poo Poo Point right here. I've done this hike at least 10 times right here. Poo Poo Point Trailhead. You're gonna hike, let's move here. You're gonna take this trail all the way up, and it's gonna wind you up here to the top of the trailhead. It's a really nice view up top. The trail is very wooded all the way up, so you're not having like wide open plains that you're looking at. It's a very wooded trail, but it's a very nice hike. It's a bit of a, I'd say, mid-level hike. It'll definitely get your heart rate going and give you a good workout. Your legs are going to be burning when you get to the top, but it's one of my favorite hikes in this area. I haven't done it in a while, but I did it a lot like 10 years ago when I was down here all the time. So that's a nice spot to go. Again, if you keep zooming out, you can see it all the way over here. Just unlimited amount of trails and hiking and mountain biking, all that kind of stuff is going to be here. As you continue to go further south in Issaquah, so town was right here where we were just at. Mirrormont right here is a really popular neighborhood. that a lot of people love to live in, pretty desirable. Let's zoom in. It's right on Tiger Mountain, right on the side of Tiger Mountain, so you can see the neighborhood through here. So again, it's going to be a very wooded neighborhood. A lot of great, nice people in here, very community feel. They've got like a community garage sale every year, all that kind of stuff, community events. There's a couple parks in here, right here, where you can take the dog off leash, throw the ball, whatever. A lot of these lots are going to be, you know, you can get anywhere from a typical size lot, quarter of an acre, to an acre or two. And they're going to be wooded, so you're going to feel like you have some privacy at your home, but you're not going to feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere. Like I said, you've got neighbors all around you, and that depends where in Mirrormont here you are. You can have a home on a lot that's not quite as wooded and you can see to your neighbor's house, or you can have a home on a lot that's very dense and wooded and you can't really see your neighbor even though they're close. So it gives you that sense of privacy while still being close to everybody. So that's kind of a desirable neighborhood that people are going to. Just keep in mind though, if you live down there, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. When you get off the freeway, you're taking this road, which is called Issaquah Hobart Road, all the way down to your neighborhood. I've driven this neighborhood a number of times, and this is 2 lanes, one lane each way. So in rush hour times when everybody's coming home from work, it can get pretty backed up and it might get a little frustrating. But I know a number of people that don't mind and they love living down there. If we zoom out a little bit, common theme with Issaquah is just access to outdoor recreation. One of the best spots you can be in Seattle Metro if you want quick access to outdoor recreation. So I mentioned all the trails and whatnot all through here. If you want to go skiing, snowboarding up in the pass, take advantage of the snow, all that kind of stuff, you're just going to head on I-90 right here, take you through North Bend, and Snoqualmie Pass is right here. So ski resort, like I said, lodge, snowboarding, you can go snowshoeing a lot of different places through here. So there's a lot that you can do here in Issaquah, and just get out to the pass, you know, within 30 minutes, and then you're there and you're enjoying your day, and it's not, you could go for a morning, you could go half your day, and then be home for the second half of the day and do something else because you're so close. So that's a huge benefit to being in Issaquah. But like I mentioned, median home prices here in Issaquah are about $1.25 million right now. This is one of the most expensive cities, along with Sammamish, Redmond, Kirkland, and Bellevue. This group, this is what we call the East Side. We call this the East Side because this is Lake Washington right here. So it's east of Lake Washington. East of Seattle, we call it the East Side. These are the 5 most expensive cities in this area. Issaquah is probably number 5 on this list right now. It's pretty close with Kirkland and Redmond and Sammamish. Bellevue's about 1.6 million in median price points. Sammamish is about 1.4. Kirkland, Redmond hovering right around there as well. The reason for that, you know, and I guess I need to mention this about Issaquah too, is the school district. This is one of the most desirable schools districts in the entire state. There's multiple school districts through this east side, right? There's Bellevue School District, there's Lake Washington School District, there's the Issaquah schools. So it depends exactly where you're located, but all of those school districts are very high rated. 8s, 9s on the Great Schools websites. A lot of people are moving over here and specifically say, I want to be in the east side because of the high rated school districts, so keep that in mind. But of course, you know, it's expensive over here because there's companies like Microsoft and GoDaddy and Google and Facebook and Amazon. So all of these high paying tech jobs as well as medical jobs over here as well. So it causes, that combined with great schools, causes a lot of people to want to be in this area. So it gets a bit competitive, hence why the prices are higher, but there's a reason for that. It's a great area to live, very clean, nice neighborhoods. You can get older homes, you can get newer homes. There's not a ton of new construction in Issaquah. There's some. There's not like master plan communities, big new construction developments going on right now. It's just not happening. They don't have as much space to keep expanding that kind of stuff. So you're going to see a lot of older homes, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. You're going to find a lot of that through Issaquah, and some one-off newer construction as well. Well, hopefully this gave you a good rundown on what it might be like to live here in Issaquah. Like I mentioned, very desirable area, and I have a lot of people that ask me about it when they're thinking about moving over here. Issaquah seems to be on everybody's list, so if this was helpful for you, give the video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And if you're moving over here, like I mentioned, I'm a real estate agent over here, so if you're looking to make the move and you need help purchasing a home over here and finding that right place to live, feel free to reach out to me here at my info on the screen. But I appreciate you watching this one.